Recording in progress. Okay, thanks for joining us, Steve. We head back a few weeks to the Hendon game, which we haven't had a video since then, which ended up in a victory 3-2. What were your memories of that?
Well, my memories are still very vivid, actually. I mean, we haven't won that many this year, so the ones we do win, I do tend to dwell on. But,
cherish.
Yes, absolutely. No, it was a good performance. I thought we played really well. I spoke to their manager, actually, and obviously they are one of the lesser teams in our division. And he said he's really disappointed. I said, I don't understand what you mean. He said, well, on the Tuesday night, we played Dulwich, and that was the same team that played Dulwich, and they beat Dulwich in the London Senior Cup on penalties. He said, and we played fantastically well. He said, so, no discredit to you. He said, but I was really, really disappointed with our performance. And I thought, do you know what? Sometimes you've got to look at ourselves and the way that we played and give us a little bit of credit, even though, as I said, they're probably one of the lesser teams and they're not, they're not a team that has the quality of, some of the opposition that we've played recently. But we went out and did a really, really good job. And at times we played some real, some good stuff, some super stuff. We moved the ball around as we can do on, 4G. And I think special mention has to go to Devon and Josh, who I thought were absolutely fantastic. They worked incredibly hard for the full 90 minutes, got a goal each, which they both fully deserved. It gives a real platform to work from. And, I think both look as if they're suited more so to playing with a partner than playing up there on their own. Josh now looks as if he's getting that match sharpness about his game as well, which is great. Devon's always going to give you everything, which he did. Really pleased with those two. And also Darren Mullins, I think, has been absolutely fantastic. It was an absolute standout Saturday. Even the opposing manager mentioned him, which is not normally the case. He was fantastic, and I think he's had a really good year. So, those three in particular, but everybody I thought played really well Saturday. I was really, really pleased with the lads.
Just before the game, I think during warm up, the lads and the staff signed a shirt for young Freddie, who tragically was killed in Salisbury last week. What would you like to say?
Yeah, obviously it's coming quite quickly after the tragedy that Darryl Clark suffered. So these are difficult times. It's certainly difficult not to be affected by what's happened. Particularly when it's so close to home. And everybody, to a man wanted to do something, and it was a nice gesture, certainly. And I just think that it just reaffirms the fact that everybody, it's a football club, but it plays a massive part of the community. He was an ex-player, an ex-youth team player. We really do all need to stick together in tough times. So we're all thinking about obviously everybody that knew him and loved him, and wish them well.
Our thoughts go out to his friends, family, and everybody at Laverstock where he was playing, and his employer, Berry Telecom, former sponsor of ours.
Just very quickly puts football in perspective, doesn't it?
It certainly does. The lack of football was Tuesday night's story, because we made our way to Hayes and Yeading, and unfortunately the weather got the better of the pitch, I believe.
It did. We got there about an hour and a half before the kickoff, and the lights were still off, and walked out, and there was a little bit of surface water, but it wasn't anything that you really thought would have a problem. And in the dark as well, you can't really see obviously what's very clearly what's below your feet. So I went in, not even giving it a second thought. And then about 6:45, so an hour later, the referee walked out, and I walked in, and I haven't actually been out again. And he called me into his office, said, I'm not 100% sure firstly, this game should go ahead, and secondly, if it does, whether we'll finish. So I sort of taken a little bit aback, went out there, And to be fair to him, it had worsened. It was continuously raining. You could see there was standing water in places. Now, it wasn't deep standing water, but it's, as you put your foot down, it just started to come out either side. And he just said, look, it's up to you, you two as managers. And neither could really, fully make a decision there and then. So I went back in the dressing room. And then I just thought about it and thought, actually, the responsibility's with me. Those conditions are going to get worse. If that ball stops and we get a bad challenge or somebody hurts himself, then that's, I'm not really prepared to take that on my shoulders. So I went into the reference and we both agreed that, as it was going to be difficult to start the game and certainly difficult to finish it. So it was agreed, what was it, gone 7 o'clock at the time, that we would call the game off. The only redeeming feature was that obviously they've got 4G just behind the ground, and we managed to get out and train on that, which was good. We had a really good hour and a half, albeit it was still disappointing that we've gone up there, travelled all that way. It took me 3 hours. So I don't know how long it took some of the lads, and obviously it was all in vain. But no, we'll go up again and we'll start again. Hope the traffic's better and have another go.
Absolutely. So we look forward to Taunton Town visiting on Saturday. A very tough game again. Yeah.
I was going to say those we've sort of in the middle of that sort of period where I think we've probably played Hartley, Whitney, Beaconsfield, who were on a tremendous run, as we know, and Hendon. Outside of that, I think we've probably played everybody we've played recently as either going for top 5 or in the top 5, or actually going to try and win the league. So it's been a really difficult run of late, I've got to say. And obviously, if we played Hayes Tuesday night, that would have been another to add to the list. So no, these are difficult games. It's going to be another one of those. We're not as strong, definitely, as we were when we went down there the other day. That's as it may be. It's a difficult. It's going to be a difficult choice how we set up, because obviously they like to go 3 in midfield. I don't want to get overrun in midfield, but if we play 2 up front, then you're probably going to need to go 4-4-2 again. So I'll have a little think about how we're going to go and what we're going to do, and see how we can try and affect the game when we've got it, and and see where we can get at them. But as you say, again, it's going to be a very, very difficult game. They are probably the most professional side in this division. They, aside from last week, when it was very, very uncharacteristic of them to give a 2-0 lead away. It doesn't happen very, very rarely with this Taunton side. Normally they get the job done. And I think previous to that, the 14 games, I think they'd won something like 12 or 13 of those 14. So they've been on, a fantastic run. And they'll be one of the 2 or 3 teams now that will think, they've got a huge chance of winning this league. So yeah, a really, really difficult game in prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. A very quick mention, we go on to another tricky tie against Tiverton on Tuesday as well. So the 2 teams together.
Yeah, they're always, as we say, we always have tough games against Tiverton, no matter where they are in the league. That they're going to come and make life incredibly difficult for you and work hard. So two tough games in prospect, but 2 that we'll be looking forward to. There's no real pressure now on us. It's all about personal pride and trying to get as many good performances as we can. I think certainly performances will come above results at this stage, because obviously we've had some really good performances of late. Aside from Chesham second half, we've been in virtually every game and should have got a lot more out of the games than we have. So good performances. We need to keep those going, and just really build that belief for next season.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Steve, and I'll let you get on with your evening.
Pleasure. Cheers, mate.
And see you Saturday.
Will do.